Yo everyone, Shock16 back once again for the Renegade Master, back once again for another video. A new video. It's been a long time, yet again, but you know what I'm like for making videos. Lazy as fuck. Not to mention, it is summer at the minute and we're going through a massive heat wave in the UK. Yeah. You know what I mean? Unless you live in the UK, you don't understand. It is hot. I don't care if you're from a hotter country. It is hot in the UK, okay? We don't have aircon and all that stuff, so yeah, give us a break. If we say it's hot, it's hot. We're not climatised to this shit, okay? It's currently, I'm filming this at 11 PM at night and it's still hot. I'm still sweating buckets. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, anyway, I thought I'd film this video because I've been meaning to film it for ages, but I just not got around to it. So yeah, as you can probably guess from the title, it's going to be about PlayStation. I'm just going to be showing you my PlayStation collection so far, because when I did my Q&A, like how many years ago that was now, basically when I'd finished the full Power Saturn set, people was asking, well, what am I going to do next? Now I've completed that, what do I focus on now? And I said that I'll be going back to the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and amassing some of the collection that I had, because I had a lot of games back in the day, but most of them was copies, so I didn't have that many original games, if you know what I mean. And yeah, that's what I've been doing basically for the past year or something. Yeah, probably about a year or so now, or whenever it was when I shot that Q&A. Yeah, slowly been picking games up. So I want you to, I've got 31 games that I want to show you here, and I've got more on the way, and then I've got even more on the way after that. So there'll probably be another, like, good old fashioned pickups. If you're into good old fashioned pickup videos, then stay tuned to this channel, because you're going to be getting some PlayStation pickup videos. Nice old classic pickup videos. So yeah, anyway, just going to crack on and show you the games I've got, maybe say a little bit about them, tell you if they're my originals or not, like that. And yeah, oh, and don't worry too much about the condition of the cases as well, because a lot of them, like I say, some of them are my original ones and they've been cracked due to being moved over the years and stuff like that, but they're all going to be getting like case upgrades and stuff like that. I'm going to be buying like some cheap sports games just to swap the cases out and stuff like that, so don't worry about condition too much. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on. So I'm going to start off with, Final Fantasy VII, a game that I have never played about more than 20 minutes of. Yeah, basically this is in my collection because where I used to work years and years ago, probably about 2001, 2002-ish, so yeah, about 15, 16 years ago now, my old manager, my old kitchen manager, was banging on about Final Fantasy games, and I told him that I'd never even played one. Not my kind of thing. These turn-based RPG things, not really my cup of tea. But yeah, I told him I'd give it a go. So he lent me this, and he gave me a big, thick, like, folder manual, which was like a walkthrough as well to get through it. But yeah, I played about 20 minutes of it, and it bored me shitless. Honestly, it just did nothing for me. So I know people bang on about this game, Final Fantasy VII, but yeah, it's not for me. I don't know. I always say that I'm going to jump back into it and give it another go. Do you know what I mean? Now that the years have rolled on, I might, do you know what I mean? I might appreciate it more now, I don't know. But yeah, it's just in the collection because I always say that I'm going to go back to it. But people that bang on about it, I'm sorry, Final Fantasy has never done anything for me. But there you go, Final Fantasy VII is in the collection. Another one that's in the collection, but I don't know why, is Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. And I'm sure this is another one that I kind of borrowed off somebody, but just never handed back. But I've never played it. I can honestly say I've never played it, so I haven't got a clue what it's about. If you played this, let me know if it's any good or not. But yeah, it might not be staying in the collection because, like I say, it's just one of those that I think I borrowed off someone and it never went back. But it's part of the collection now because it's just there, isn't it? Right then, Resident Evil 2, this is my original copy from back in the day. Yeah, I had the original Resident Evil on a copy disc. I won't be buying that back for the PlayStation though, because I've got Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn now, so there's no point buying it back for the PlayStation as well. Do you know what I mean? I know there might be a few differences and stuff like that between the versions, but I'm not really a fan of buying the same game for multiple systems. Do you know what I mean? If I've got it once, I've got it. Unless it's a really, really, really shit version, then I don't really see a point in getting another version of it. I'm not like that. So, but yeah, Resident Evil 2 was actually I played this before the original Resident Evil. And yeah, this just blew me away. I mean, this was like the original kind of, probably like the original atmospheric horror game that proper scared people. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's Resident Evil, you know, the old tank controls, which in my opinion is a lot better as well. I thought that added to the atmosphere. So yeah, I mean, are they releasing this, aren't they? They're re-releasing this as an update, aren't they? I think on the PS4. I think that's what they're doing. I'm sure that at E3 this year it was announced that they're doing Resident Evil remake. So yeah, Resident Evil 2 remake anyway. So yeah. But I imagine they're going to change all the control schemes and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's going to take away some of the atmosphere, because I thought, yeah, I don't know. I like playing it with the tank controls. I thought it added to it. So yeah, Resident Evil 2 anyway. Worms World Party. Again, this is another one of my original games. Yeah, again, I had the original Worms on PlayStation, but again, it was on copy. But again, that's another game that I won't be buying back for the PlayStation, because I've now got that on the Sega Saturn, and it's literally exactly the same. There's no difference between it, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, so there's no point getting that. But Worms World Party was one of those games where, yeah, back in the day, I think I bought a game, and I think I had some credit at Game Station, because I used to get a lot of my games from Game Station, so you might see Game Station stickers on some of these. And yeah, and I think I just had some credit to use up, so I went for Worms World Party, and it's basically just the same, isn't it? But yeah, you get like the worms are look like bigger sprites, a bit more cartoonish and stuff like that, and you get different kind of modes on it. But don't ask me what the word, because it's been ages since I played this. But yeah, it's Worms, so it's a good game. It's a good game if there's more than one of you playing it, kind of thing as well. Adds to the fun. What we've got here, Formula 1 97 with a nice cracked case, so that is one that I'm going to have to swap out. I mean, the old corner's gone on there, unfortunately. But yeah, this was an original one as well. What's that say on the front? Free Radical Games demo. Alright, I don't know. Is that in there? I'm just going to have a little check, see if that's actually in there. Oh, it is as well. The demo is actually in there, that's cool. Totally forgot about that, or I never even knew about it, whatever. But on the demo you get G-Police, Overboard, Colony Wars and Shadow Master as well, so that's cool. Didn't realise that was in there. But yeah, Formula 1 97, yeah, I went through a fad of kind of Formula 1 games back in the day, and yeah, this was one that I really enjoyed, to be honest with you. It was, yeah, it just seemed so realistic, like proper F1 simulation. I mean, it's probably aged a lot now, I don't know. Again, I've not played it in absolute years, but yeah, it was a good game if you're into like F1, which I've never really been into F1, but like I say, I went through a little bit of a phase of liking F1 games, so there you go, F1 97. Oh, one of my favourite fighters now, Marvel vs Capcom. Yeah, as you can see, like I said, from Game Station. Don't know if you can see that. Game Station. $14.99. I don't know if I paid that or whether I got it on credit, like I say, but yeah, an original game that I bought back in the day when it was kind of current. Yeah, one of my favourite 2D Capcom fighters. Classic, can't go wrong with it. I've said everything that I need to say about this in the Friday Night Fight episode when I was playing it, so seek that out. I can't remember what season it was. Season 1 or Season 2, I'm going to say. But yeah, if you're that bothered about what I've got to say about it, have a look at that. But it's an amazing fighter and should not be overlooked. I know a lot of people prefer the sequel actually, but I've always preferred the first one over the sequel. Controversial. So let's go for these 3 games because they're all from the same series. And again, the fighters. And it is, of course, Tekken. Tekken 2. And Tekken 3. Again, I got that from Game Station as well. Didn't know that. $11.99 that cost me. Apparently. Again, I don't know if I did actually pay that. I mean, pay no attention to prices because I might have got them on some kind of credit or even cheaper or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, if it says Game Station, it's more. I probably did get it from Game Station because, like I said, I used to get a lot of my games from there. But like, it was more like around the time when the PlayStation was still in and we was just kind of switching over to the PlayStation 2. It was kind of like that era when I used to buy these from Game Station. So yeah, because like I say, a lot of my games was on copies, so I didn't really buy brand new original games. But yeah, so Tekken 3 is probably my favourite of the Tekken series still to this day. Love Tekken 3, absolutely brilliant. They kind of yeah, rounded off like the character models, like made them look like smoother, nicer. So they like gave the graphics, like it pushed the PlayStation graphics, so to speak. They kind of made the fighting a bit more fluid in it and stuff like that. Tekken 2 is not a game that I really liked much when I first got it. I always preferred the original over it, but in later years playing it again, I've come to appreciate this game a lot. This is a brilliant game and it is probably technically a better game than the first game. So yeah, Tekken 2 is a great fighter. And yeah, this is the game that made me want to buy a PlayStation. So yeah, as much as I love the Sega Saturn, as I've mentioned a lot of times, I was very fickle, and then I didn't keep it for very long, and I ended up selling it off to fund a PlayStation. And this is one of the games that, yeah, basically made me want to buy it. Tekken, and this is in the cardboard sleeve version as well. So yeah, this isn't my original. This is one that I got off Sprites and Bytes in a fighter package that he did me. I bought like a package of fighters, fighting games off him, like probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. And yeah, he had this version, the cardboard box version of it. It's really nice as well. It's like got like, feels like a bit embossed on the front, and yeah, that's how it was when I got it. My original one was like that, in that version in the cardboard box, so I had to have that. Brilliant, love that version. So yeah, that's Tekken. WCW Mayhem, again, another original game that I got. Yeah, I used to like wrestling, and I used to like wrestling games. I was probably not watching wrestling around this era though, because I kind of gave up on wrestling when it kind of switched to WWE from WWF. So yeah, but I used to watch WCW as well, of course. And yeah, so I went out and bought the game. As I remember though, this isn't a very good game. Out of all the wrestling games out there, I don't think this is one of the good ones. So yeah, but WCW Mayhem. What we got here? Oh yeah, so I'll show you these together, because again, it's a series. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 2 and Grand Theft Auto London. Now, can you see that? Sorry, getting glare off the lights, aren't we? Can't win. No lighting, you can't see the games because it's too dark. Lighting, you get a lot of reflection. So we start with Grand Theft Auto London. So yeah, I did have the original Grand Theft Auto, but again, it was on copy. But I can't remember that I had to buy, or did I borrow it? I think I ended up borrowing somebody's original disc, because obviously this is like an expansion and you need to play it with the original GTA disc. If you've got you can't play this on its own. I don't know if they did a version where you could play it on its own or not, but yeah, this only worked where you had to load up the original game first. and I'm sure my copied version didn't work, so I had to borrow an original disc off somebody. So that's a game I'm going to have to buy back if I ever want to play this game again. But yeah, GTA London, I love GTA London. I thought it was brilliant. It's a nice little add-on. Yeah, and some people class it as their favourite in the series as well, but yeah, it's cool, man. London, GTA London, and then the sequel was great as well. I still prefer the original and London, and then of course the later games. I think GTA 2 was a good addition though. Do you know what I mean? Of the top-down series, it was quite a good sequel. Yeah, updated graphics and like added like a faction system to it, so you could like work, like you could choose and pick which gang you wanted to work for first and stuff like that. And yeah, it was quite cool. So yeah. Driver 2, again I had the original Driver on copy, so probably a game that I am going to buy back. But the original Driver, although it is a good game, I mean it's aged a lot now if you go back to it. But yeah, Driver 2, I love. This was a Christmas present as well, that's why it's still nearly in mint condition, because like when people buy me stuff, like if like those ones are cracked, because like I say, I bought them from Game Station and they probably weren't in that great condition when I bought them, because they was probably pre-owned or something like that. But yeah, if they were in mint condition, it's probably because they was bought me for Christmas or something like that from my parents or something, and my parents bought me this for Christmas the year it came out. So yeah, Driver 2 is a brilliant game, and you can get out of the car in this, because I remember in the first one you couldn't get out of the car. In this one they let you get out of the car, although you can't really do much when you get out of the car. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the game is called Driver, so why would you really be getting out of the car? Do you know what I mean? Driver, have you played Driver 3 on PlayStation 2? Man, that game is riddled with bugs and stuff. You can find videos on it, it's fucking hilarious with the shit that goes on in that game. But yeah, Driver 2, Driver 1, both great games. What time are we at? Fucking hell, time's cracking on, so let's crack on. Ridge Racer, a game I think every single person who owned a PlayStation has had back in the day. Ridge Racer, classic arcade racing game, probably the pinnacle of racing games back in the day of that era. Yeah, Ridge Racer. Again, this isn't my original one, this is actually one that I bought off Tom, King Arthur actually. Yeah, did me a good deal on this. I bought, oh that reminds me, I've got something else in the games room, which I'll show you in another video. I'll show you that in another video. But I bought a peripheral off him, and yeah, he also threw this in as part of the deal as well. So yeah, he did me a nice price on it. Ridge Racer, you can't go wrong with Ridge Racer. Silent Hill, one of my favourite games on the system, probably my favourite ever horror kind of survival games. I put this over Resident Evil 2. And Resident Evil, yeah, again, might be controversial. To me, Silent Hill. Never played any of the sequels though. Go figure. But yeah, this game is absolutely amazing. I still remember it like it was yesterday, sitting in my old bedroom in my old family house. Yeah, about 15, 16 years old. I'm playing this in the dark and staying up. And like, obviously I saved it. I didn't complete it all in one day or whatever, but like saving it on the memory card and going back to it. But I always used to play it at night with the lights off in my bedroom, just the light of the TV. And it's a creepy ass game. And yeah, I got this off Daz actually, Cajones del Oro. Gave me this for a nice, in fact I was meant to buy this off him. I don't know if I should be telling you this, I don't know if he wants me to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. But yeah, this was part of a deal. I bought it off him, but then he sent me my money back. So it was, so yeah. But that's Daz for you, innit? Great guy, innit? So yeah, Silent Hill, and because of him, I've now got an excellent. This is like a really nice copy of Silent Hill. Again, a game that I didn't have on original copy back in the day. This was, yeah, on a backup, as we used to say. So 2 more games, and 2 from the same series again, and it is Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo 2. again picking up that glare, but yeah, Gran Turismo 1, Gran Turismo 2. These are in great nick, and these are my originals, although I have actually bought these back in recent years. These are my originals, but then I bought them both back again because I lost my originals. I could not find these anywhere. And I knew they was in the loft, that I'd left them in my parents' loft, and I could not find them. I went through a load of boxes, could not find them. They was not with my other PlayStation stuff. So I ended up buying them back in the end, and then of course, when I bought them back, about 2 or 3 years later, I ended up finding them, didn't I? So, yeah, but Gran Turismo was the king. It was the daddy of simulation races. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Long before Forza and Drive Club and all that kind of stuff came out, do you know what I mean? This is the original daddies of simulation racing, which is kind of sad now because Gran Turismo is kind of not the king anymore, is it? I would say Forza is. Do you know what I mean? Make your own mind up, but I think Gran Turismo has lost its way years ago. After like the 4th one on PlayStation 2, I'd say it lost its way. So, yeah. But you can't beat the originals, so Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo 2. Great racer. I think Alex Blutonic picked this up actually not long back in one of his videos, and that is Porsche Challenge. Yeah, you just race in Porsche Boxsters, and that's any car that you can choose on it. You just basically choose which colour by picking which driver you want. I think they have different attributes, like some have different speeds or handling or something like that. I can't remember now. But yeah, as you can see, that's got a sticker on it saying it got a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 by PlayStation Power, which I'm going to guess is a magazine or something. But yeah, it's a really simplistic game. Aged a lot, but it still holds up, I think. I think it still holds up. It plays really well, and it's one of my favourite races, to be honest with you, on the system. So, yeah, but it's Porsche Challenge. Not much to say. You drive Porsches and race. FIFA 2000, one of the last games I remember actually buying. Yeah, one of the last games I actually remember buying on the system. Yeah, and one of my favourite FIFA games as well, actually, as it goes. I'm not really one that buys a FIFA game every year. I've never bought into that, buying FIFA every year. But so I probably buy FIFA every 5 years or something like that, or however long it is. But yeah, FIFA 2000, I really like 2000. I think it's one of the better FIFAs. But yeah, it's FIFA. There's not much to say about it. It's football, isn't it? Duke Nukem, A Time to Kill. Yeah, this is one of my original games as well. Again, in fact, have all of these been my original? No, I have said that. I bought some back, didn't I? So yeah, one of my originals, again in good nick, as you can see. Yeah, I think it must have been a present of someone. Yeah, it just looked kind of really cool, like really just filled with carnage, and Duke Nukem's like, it's classic Duke Nukem, the way Duke Nukem should be, the way you remember it. And yeah, what does it do? And I think you like travel through different time and stuff, so you can like end up in like, let me just have a look at screenshots. I think this is the same. Yeah, I think you'd like travel through time, and yeah, you Duke Nukem, you kill like pigs and stuff like that, don't you? You blast them apart and you say cheesy one-liners that are nicked from films like Die Hard and They Live and stuff like that. Classic game. Oh yeah, but it's not first person, because Duke Nukem 3D on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation is like a first person shooter, isn't it? This is like a third person shooter. Yeah, so it is different. Speaking of third person shooters, great series. Again, 2 games from the same series. Syphon Filter, Syphon Filter 2. Syphon Filter is an amazing game. It's probably like touted as the poor man's Metal Gear Solid, but I think that is doing it an injustice. I think this game is great on its own merits. Basically, you play it as like an agent called Gabe Logan or something like that, and you have to stop Syphon Filter, which What is Syphon Filter? Is it like a virus or something? I can't remember now. I think it's like a virus or something, Syphon Filter. Then of course, you come back in the sequel. In the sequel you could play as the bird. I can't remember what the woman's name is it. But yeah, oh, told you on the back. Gabe Logan and Lian Zing. Lian Zing, whatever. But yeah, more of the same, just again they've kind of upgraded the graphics, made it look nicer basically, and it's a longer game as well because this is a 2-discer. I think this is 2 discs. It's not free, or it might be free. It's heavy and I can't be asked to open it. I think it's 2 discs, whereas that's only 1. But yeah, if you've not played Syphon Filter, play the Syphon Filter games. They are great games and you'll see what I mean by why people used to compare it to Metal Gear Solid. But in my opinion, it's 2 different kind of play styles, and that deserves credit on its own like merits, if you know what I mean. Carmageddon. Yeah, it's racing where you can win by earning points by running over pedestrians, but they changed the pedestrians to zombies on this version, and I think they might have done it on different versions as well because it was very controversial. I think the original PC version, it was just standard pedestrians or something like that, and yeah, of course that caused a lot of controversy, so they changed it to like zombie kind of that you had to run over and stuff like that. Yeah, it's Carmageddon, you race, you've got like different cars with different kind of weapons. I don't know, I don't know if it was trying to knock off Twisted Metal, but it didn't kind of live up to it. I mean, it's alright, I kind of enjoyed it, but I don't think it's aged very well, and I don't think a lot of people rated it that much, to be honest with you. But yeah, Carmageddon, I thought it was alright. McRae Rally, one of the best, if not the best, rally games ever made, aside from Sega Rally, of course. But yeah, after Sega Rally, when I got rid of my Sega Saturn, of course I needed a rally fix, and V-Rally, I never got into V-Rally. I kind of didn't like the way the cars handled on it and stuff like that. I thought it was a little bit, I think they went a little bit too into the simulation with it kind of thing. I don't know, it just felt all wrong when you were trying to drive it. It wasn't a fun game to play, in my opinion, V-Rally. Other people obviously are going to disagree with that, but yeah, for me the ultimate rally game on the PlayStation was McRae Rally. Ugh. Theme Park. This is again one of my originals. I love these kind of like these kind of simulation kind of games where you know, like Sim City and stuff like that, where you have to like park builder games, like the tycoon games as well. Do you know what I mean? Where you, like the railway tycoons and stuff like that. And what was the other one? Zoo Tycoon and stuff like that. I used to have them on the PC and stuff like that. I love these kind of games. Yeah, I've got this on the Sega Saturn, so this isn't a game that I would have bought back because I've got it on Sega Saturn, but yeah, it's one of my originals, so it's still in the collection and it's there. Theme Park, can't go wrong with a bit of Theme Park. So, M&M Shellshocked. So yeah, this is like an M&M's tie-in game. It's a platformer game featuring the red and yellow M&Ms that you get off the adverts. Can't really remember too much about it. I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think it's a long game, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think this is a game that my... Oh, phone is making a noise. Yeah, this is a game that my ex-girlfriend bought back in the day, and she used to enjoy playing it, and of course we broke up many years ago. She never got the game back, and it's just become part of my collection, so I can't really say much about it apart from what I saw her play of it back in the day. And yeah, it looked alright. Don't look bad for an M&M tie-in, I guess. Now this is a game that you're probably going to laugh at, but this is a game that I'm going to make no excuses for. It is a game that I bought, and going back to the theme park thing, I like the kind of simulation games, and that is Pop Star Maker. So yeah, it sounds kind of like girly, kind of cheesy, kiddish, but it's not. It is actually a simulation. You basically get 4 people, or however many you want, and you put them into a band, and then you can make songs, and you can compose. It's nothing like a music making game, but it's very simple. You put samples together, you can make songs, and then you can press them onto CDs, and you can like release albums and release singles, and yeah, you take your bands on tours and you get them bookings and stuff like that, and yeah, the more famous they become, they go on like shows. Do you mean like say like Letterman and stuff like that? But obviously it's not Letterman, it's whatever the in-game version is, like, so like chat shows and stuff like that. And yeah, basically it's taking, the aim of the game is to take like your band from nobodies and then make them rich, and like obviously you get them into like the music awards and they win awards for albums and stuff like that. It's a really good game. It's like, it's alright. I mean, it's primitive because it's of its time, but yeah, don't be put off by the cheesy kind of kind of like pop idol kind of girly kiddish kind of cover that it's got on it, because it is quite a good like simulation type game thing. So yeah, staying on the music tip, Music 2000, which is yeah, a music making game. You can put together a load of samples, you can even, this was really good actually. I mean, again, it's primitive, it's of its time of course, so, but you could put music CDs into your PlayStation and you could actually rip like samples off music CDs to put it into your tracks and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, you probably played some kind of version of this. I mean, there was music, and then this is Music 2000, so this is like the sequel. It's got more features on it and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got a SIM card, is that the right, memory card, there we go, with a load of tracks that I made back in the day, and if I can find the tracks, I will find a way of uploading them, and yeah, you can see some of the tracks that I made back when I was a music producer back in the day, you know. But yeah, Music 2000, if you're into music and you like making tracks, then Music 2000's a great addition to your collection, I guess. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, the original one. Yeah, I played other ones in the series, like the sequels to this, and I never really got on with them, but I used to love this one, where you take control of your team, and you can like select between them, and you just carry out, basically you're given missions. Yeah, you select your team, and obviously like when one of your team dies, you can still carry on with the other two team, like, and to complete them. Basically you're not dead until all of your team are dead, kind of thing. Yeah, it's like a bit tactical, actiony, but yeah. So you have to kind of like pick the right team, kind of thing, and you have to plan it out. You can't just go in gun blazing on every single mission, kind of thing. Well, you can, but you won't always win. So, but yeah, Rainbow Six, good game. Actual ice hockey. Used to love ice hockey games. I used to love the ones on the Super Nintendo. You know, the 16-bit era Super Nintendo, Mega Drive. Yeah, the NHL games that you get on that. I like some of the NHL game. NHL. Fuck me. NHL. I can't say that. NHL games, ice hockey games. Fuck it, we'll just go for ice hockey. I like some of the ice hockey games that you can get on the yeah, that came out in the 32-bit era on the Sega Saturn and stuff like that as well. But this is one of the better ones, I think, on the PlayStation. Actual ice hockey. It's an ice hockey game. If you like that kind of thing, you'll probably like actual ice hockey. So last but not least, my favourite game on the system, always will be, I think, as well, and that is Metal Gear Solid. I don't think many people are going to argue with me on that this is the best game on the system. Absolutely brilliant game. This was like the first kind of game that I really got into. You know what I mean? Where it tells a story. You know what I mean? Where you've got like, it was kind of cinematic, and it was just a joy to play. It was like it was like edge of your seat kind of gaming. You couldn't wait to put it on and play it. Like, I used to rush home to play this sometimes. It was an amazing game. But yeah, it's a game that I originally had on a copy, and I didn't know anything about it before playing it, and I didn't like it the first time I ever played it. I put it in, I didn't like it, and I put it to one side, and then one day I was bored, many months later I was bored, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that game a shot again. And I'm glad I did, because from there it became my favourite game, like I say, on the system. But yeah, this is my original copy that I had to buy because my backup, because it's on 2 discs, obviously you have to change the disc halfway through the game, and yeah, because my original copy of this was on a backup, the second disc never loaded, so I had to go out and buy I had to actually go out and buy a proper copy. Anyway, so I should have just done that in the first place, but yeah, there you go, Metal Gear Solid. So yeah, sorry if this has gone on for longer than I wanted it to go on for, but like I say, there's going to be more PlayStation pickups now, and they're going to be a bit more condensed, so they're not all going to go on like this. Like I say, this is like a backlog there of original games and games that I've added to it since I've been collecting them back and stuff like that, because yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that, so we've got that out of the way now. That's the PlayStation collection thus far. To get us started, and then like I say, we can carry on with the pickups now, which will be a much shorter video. So yeah, thank you if you've watched all the way through. Sorry if this is a long video, and sorry if I'm looking a bit hot and flustered and shit like that, but it is English summer, and yeah, like I say, it's almost midnight now and it's still red hot, so I'm gonna go cool down, and I'll see you in the next video when hopefully it's a bit cooler. See you soon. Bye bye.